Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, very special. Celtic have actually made signings in January. We're 3 signings in. We are 3 in, and over the past 48 hours, Celtic have confirmed 2 signings. I was going to make a video last night on the signing of Timothy Weah, but I was hearing the rumours that apparently today was going to be the day we confirmed the signing of our second player. His name is, it blows me at the park every time. I know it's Bio, I know his second name is Bio, but to pronounce the whole name, Vakun Issouf Bio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right whatsoever. Over time, I will learn. And over time, I hope to learn to love him as well, because I feel like these are going to be 2 very, very good signings for us moving forward. We'll cover both of them in this video. But Celtic have actually made 2 signings in the January transfer window. Up to 3 for a total now. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought we'd have seen the day that Peter Law would have done it? Granted, yes, 2 of them have been loan signings, but we're spending money around in the region of £2 million for Bio, who is a striker, of course, signing from the Slovakian side, Streda. Something Streda. Once again, pronunciation is not going to be used for the first part of that name because I have no clue. But aye, 2 signings, great stuff, and we're looking at very attacking signings at the minute. Oliver Buck, obviously a winger, Timothy Weah, who can be used as a striker or winger as far as I've been led to believe, and Bio being a striker as well, who's had a very impressive season so far over in the Slovakian Premier Division. Hopefully he will carry on his form to Celtic. I mean, a Slovakian Premier Division and the Scottish Premier Division surely aren't worlds apart when it comes to class and quality. So hopefully we are getting a signing here, someone who can display his talents and score goals for us in this league, because we're in dire need of a striker. So I'm glad we have done this. Obviously there's names we could have went for that are much bigger and more well known, players who we actually recognise the name of. You know, Rangers went and signed Jermaine Defoe, for example, but I'm happy we've done this. Now this can go one of 2 ways. We'll talk about Bio first, then we'll get on to Timothy Weah. It can obviously go one of 2 ways. We could be looking at the next Moussa Dembele here, or we could be looking at the next Mo Bangura. You don't know which direction it's going to go in, and you can only hope that Brendan Rodgers will develop him into a player who will score goals and be a consistently good player. He's got tough competition to get into the team, of course, with Edouard in the side, and Griffiths, when he comes back in, will obviously be in the mix as well to be Celtic's star striker. But this is a player who, if he can get the ball rolling and score goals quickly, he could make himself the main striker at Celtic. Obviously, Edouard wasn't the main striker last season when there was the 3 options, and he may find himself in a similar position if Bio can get in and score goals. I'm looking forward to this sign. I think it's different. It's exciting. Hopefully he's a player who brings something different. He looks like a physical presence. Hopefully we see a lot of... I'm just thinking Moussa Dembele here, aren't I? That's what I want. I just want another Moussa. You know how much I loved Moussa, and hopefully we get a replication with this player, because Moussa brought so much to the side with his hold-up play and just his overall finishing and such, that hopefully Bio will bring as well. But judging from his tally this season so far, then we're looking at a player who can do that. We're looking at a player who can score goals and make goals as well, which was something Moussa Dembele done, and always I thought was a bit underappreciated for, with his hold-up play and his passing and such. So Bio looks as though he can bring some of that as well. And for £2 million, you know, we're not breaking the bank. And a lot of fans, I feel like a lot of fans through this transfer window so far with the 3 signings, there still will be a lot of fans disappointed, upset and annoyed and frustrated. The 4 words that I had to use there. Yes, all 4, not just 1, 4 of them. There will be fans, I'm so sorry about the TV flashing different colours in my face every 2 fucking seconds. You know, obviously a lot of fans will probably still be frustrated at the fact we've made 2 loans, 2 6-month loans at that, and a signing for £2 million when we have a lot more money to spend. But my opinion is, if we can build a squad which is good enough to carry us through the rest of this season to the league title, and maybe create an impact in the Europa League, then there's not much to complain about, because then hopefully in the summer, Peter Law will look and go, right, do you know what? We need more players like that. We need to sign them permanently. And hopefully then he will spend the money on more players to come in the summer. Now, I don't believe this transfer's done. We're only 8 days, this transfer window's done. We're only 8 days in. And we've made 3 signings already, which for a lot of the time, coming to Celtic especially, you'd think, that must be it. But there's still improvements to be made with right backs. I made my video on this. I know I promised a video about who I think should leave Celtic. That will come tomorrow. I promise that'll be tomorrow. But I can't even remember what I was going to say now, because I went and spoke about that video. But, you know, the fact we're making signings is still a positive. Let's be positive about it. Let's be positive. I see a lot of people saying about Oliver Buck, waste of a signing. No, I feel like it will be positive. Timothy Weah, maybe if he performs for the next 6 months, I doubt he's going to be a big player at PSG next season. We might get him for another year if he performs at a level that Celtic see good enough. and I imagine he will be good enough. But Bayo, as we'll talk about him first, he needs to come in and score goals, because we're in a crisis. We don't have a striker who's scoring goals at the minute. Edouard is dipping in and out of fitness. Griffiths is out to God knows when. Mikey Johnson isn't a striker. We need someone who can score goals week in, week out. And this could be potentially the answer. As I said, it could be a Mo Bangura. Let's hope not. But I have a good feeling about him. Have a good feeling about a good player. And I could be eating my words in 6 months' time. We might be wanting a shot of him. But he looks promising. And he's still young as well. A lot to prove at Celtic. Hope, we're looking at players, and when they come in, it could be just a stepping stone for this guy. But let's make the most of it where we can. And if he plays well, think of it this way: we are going to make profit. We signed Moussa Dembele for £500,000, and we sold him for 20 million. If we can make profit even close to that on this guy, then it's a win-win situation for the club, because we'll be getting short-term success and long-term success, as long as obviously the money is reinvested in other players, which we haven't quite seen yet from Dembele. A lot of fans will be complaining, why are we not bringing in strikers worth £10 million? At the end of the day, you've got to be realistic of who will actually sign for Celtic, what players we can get. A lot of players don't want to move to the Scottish Premiership. It's understandable. I'd wish it wasn't the case. I do wish that wasn't the case, but you can't help it. Some players want to go to England. Some players just don't see Scotland being the fit for them. Plus, it's a very physical league. A lot of players come up here and just get lumps kicked out of them if they have forms of talent. So hopefully Bayo, though, will be a success. For £2 million, how wrong can we go? Yes, it could be a flop, but he's young. There's a lot of improvement, development. Brendan Rodgers is good at man management, good at getting the best out of players. I believe he will do well. Timothy Weah, the second player to speak about, son of George Weah, a lot of potential PSG player. Look, if you play for a club like PSG, it's the same with Odzon Edouard when we brought him in. Who knows, we could sign Timothy Weah permanently. We've done it with Edouard. Could it happen with Weah? Maybe his stock, maybe his value to PSG is a bit more than what Edouard's was, but you never know, because as I said, PSG, I don't imagine have any plans for him in the near future with the squad and the money they have available, unless he turns out to be some fucking world beater and he proves that in the Europa League for us. But Timothy Weah is a player who's undoubtedly going to come and bring talent, and it's good that he can play on that left hand side and he can play up front as well. Maybe he's going to bring something Celtic have been lacking in that final third this season. He's going to have a lot of creativity. I've seen some clips, some highlights from him. He looks smart. He's going to be a quick player, difficult for fullbacks and such to handle in this league. Once again, though, player with talent usually gets lumps kicked out of them. So we'll have to wait and see with him as well. A 6-month loan deal, yes, is frustrating. It means if we get to love him, we might have to wave farewell in May and never see the guy at Celtic ever again. But just take everything as a positive right now. If we go and win a treble, and if we manage to get through the likes of Valencia in the last 32 of the Europa League, that is just all positives for Celtic. And then we'll generate more money. And then maybe Peter Law will think to himself, yes, we will sign players. That is a long shot. I know that is. But these are two players who I think are going to bring something unique to the side. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most. We're not going for some old shite. Like Rangers are going for way, the likes of Gareth McCauley and Jermaine Defoe, and when they brought up Nico Krankjer, look, they're all rambling on about Jermaine Defoe and how, he's been that good in England, he's going to come up here and tear the league apart. He's going to be too good for the league and this, that, next thing. And I'm not want to make this a video about Rangers and get called obsessed, but look at the other players who've came up from England on both sides. Krankjer came up here, I'll tear them apart, shite. Joey Barton came up here, embarrassed. Celtic have had their fair share of duds as well. We signed the likes of Dion Dublin, done nothing for Celtic. Who was the other guy we signed in that kind of era from the Premier League, came up and done nothing? Can't remember, slipped off my head now. It's no Roy Keane I'm thinking, it's someone else. It's just slipped off the top of my head, gone. A lot of players come up for the English Premiership and think they'll go to easy and then they get the shock of their life. So that's why I'm glad we're doing something unique, we're doing something different, we're bringing in players who usually I don't think the clubs would look at. And I think they're going to bring something different, something the league won't expect, that defenders aren't used to, and make life difficult for them. You've got to think about things like that as well. We don't want some predictable shite. There's players who have came up from England done fantastic that we could probably go for, but why go and get someone in an 18-month loan at the age of 35 when we can pay £2 million for a 22-year-old or whatever age he is, and try and get the best out of him, develop him into a player, and make profit off it at the end of it? Use your welly. That's what I say about it. Two good signings though, I think. And I'm looking forward to seeing them play. I have faith in them. I'm looking forward to seeing their debuts at the club. Let me know what you think of the signs from Celtic, and let me know how you think the rest of the window will go. There'll be another video tomorrow. I hope so anyway. I don't like making false promises, but I'm confident there'll be a video tomorrow. Like and subscribe as well. Opinions to my opinions as always in the comments. Rangers fans, let your thoughts be known, because the early Buck video was brilliant. You got us obsessed. Okay, I'm not a better YouTuber. I love the back and forth, you know. Like and subscribe, as I said. I'll see you all next time.